At some point, many people begin to feel something difficult to explain. They feel different, not in an obvious way, but in a quiet internal sense. And for many, this feeling is unsettling, because they cannot clearly explain when it started, or why it happened. The human mind builds identity over time. It is shaped by experiences, relationships, and repeated patterns of behavior. Identity is not fixed. It adapts based on environment and emotional experiences. When a person goes through repeated stress, emotional pressure, or uncertainty, the brain begins to adjust. It changes how it reacts, how it thinks, and how it protects itself. Sometimes this adjustment creates distance between who someone used to be and who they are becoming. One common reason this happens is emotional overload. When the brain processes too much stress over time, it begins to reduce emotional intensity. This can feel like numbness, or like a loss of connection to one's own personality. Another reason is constant adaptation. When someone frequently adjusts their behavior to fit different environments or expectations, their sense of identity can become less stable. They may start to feel like they are different versions of themselves depending on the situation. The brain is simply responding to external conditions. Social experiences also play a role. Rejection, criticism, or pressure to meet expectations can cause the brain to shift behavior patterns. It begins prioritizing safety over authenticity. This means acting in ways that reduce conflict or increase acceptance. But over time, this can create a disconnect. The person may feel like they are performing rather than being. This is not a failure of personality. It is a protective response. The brain is trying to maintain stability in changing environments. But in doing so, it sometimes moves away from familiar patterns, which creates the feeling of losing oneself. Another factor is internal growth. As people learn new things or experience different perspectives, their beliefs and reactions naturally change. This can make old behaviors feel unfamiliar, and new behaviors feel uncertain. The transition between these states often feels like confusion, because the brain is not fully stabilized in either version. The important detail is that this feeling does not mean something is wrong. It means something is changing. Identity is not something that disappears. It is something that reorganizes. And during that process, it can feel unclear or unstable. Understanding this changes how the experience is interpreted. Instead of seeing it as loss, it can be seen as transition. The mind is adjusting, rebuilding patterns and trying to find stability again. And once this becomes clear, the feeling itself begins to make more sense. Because what feels like losing yourself may actually be the process of becoming someone different.